Hello everybody, my name is BearCozy, and today I wanted to make a video and talk about Ash Megisteria 12. I have been meaning to make this video for quite some time, and I have been doing other things and working on other areas of the game, and I think today it's time. So here we are running Ash 12, and I'm going to go over all of their team. I'm going to go over my team, all of their stats, and exactly what I'm using to make this work. This has been really cool for me. It took me some time to get this going, but once I got this going, it's been very nice to start farming Ash. So here we are in Ash Megisteria 12, and if you don't know me, my name is BearCozy. I strive to make not only entertaining, but also educational videos, and I like to make account progress videos because for me, the fun is in progression. So if we go into Ash Megisteria, and we take a look at the team, this is the team that works really well. There is one more team with Light Cane. I have not been able to get that to work. The speeds are way different and you need much faster speeds. And this is by far the most easiest team to make this work. Now this did take me some time, and I want to put up all of their stats right here. The first one I have in my team is Santis, then Mary. As you can tell, Mary is at 50 because primarily we're using her for the ultimate, for the invincibility, which she brings, and she's very good at what she does. Then, of course, we have Nathalia. She works really well with those buffs. And the Ice Wolf is the much easiest and a very good, easy, free-to-play option. So Santis and Mary and Ice Wolf are very easy to get. Nathalia is going to take a little bit of time. If you have her, go ahead and use her. If you do not, you might have to try somebody else. Nathalia has been working really well for me, and I wanted to make this video because it took me some time, even after watching some of the videos and trying to figure out some of the speeds. It took me some time to fine-tune it, and I want to go over a couple of mistakes that I was making that you may not be aware of. So here's the team. Here are the spells. The spells are Sundering, Purgatory, and Last Breath. Last Breath is primarily there to resurrect Ice Wolf. So as you noticed, I have 260s and 250s. Let's get into it. So as we get into Ash Megisteria 12, I want to talk about a couple of things. The first thing I will tell you is Santis needs to go first, and it doesn't matter how fast she is, but she does need to be over 140, I believe. Mine is at like 160 something. I don't remember. I put up the stats on the screen. And if you notice on the bottom right-hand side where my cursor is, I will put an arrow to it. Santis' skills are actually off, and that helps a lot. The reason that helps a lot is because now she can use her basic and she can take some extra attacks, right? So now we don't have to worry about the ultimate. Doesn't really do anything on Ash Megisteria boss because the ultimate just spreads AoE on everybody. So going into the boss, as you can see, Santis goes first. And as I've mentioned, her skills are turned off, and that allows her to do a little bit of extra damage, some more poison damage as well, and that is really nice. The other thing is I have her in a counterattack set, so that works out really well. Or excuse me, I have her in a curse set, and that allows her to get a little bit of extra damage in, which is very nice. As you can see, the wolf is back up again because we are running the resurrection spell, and the wolf will actually put up his counterattack, which allow us that much needed damage, that extra damage to be able to take down Ash Megisteria. And one key thing to note right here is that Nathalia needs to go right after the boss, because if she goes before the boss, that is going to be no good and everybody will die. So that is one of the things that I struggle with. Nathalia used to always go before the boss, and I would always have a hard time. Now, right here, everybody does need to survive, and Nathalia will finish him off just like that, and that works out really well. So a couple of things I want to go over really quick. I know that happened very fast, so I want to break it down a little bit more. So right now, Santis is going very fast. She is my first, and then Mary follows her up. So Santis has her skills turned off, and she can be anywhere over 140 speed, I believe, to 180, something like that. She can be very fast, and that is fine. Mary, of course, has to be speed tuned, and Nathalia has to be speed tuned. Mary has to go after the wolf, but right before the boss. That is from my experience. And so Mary needs to go right before the boss, and Nathalia needs to go right after the boss. That is the biggest thing here, is that Nathalia needs to go after the boss. If yours is going before the boss, more likely than not, your team will wipe because the invincibility attack comes off. So right now, my Nathalia is actually in different gear than when I had her tuned. She is in arena gear, and right now, because of the speed tune, she actually does not have 100% crit rate. However, she does have it in arena. I made her go She is at 136 speed right now, and this comp will work between 132 and 137 for Nathalia. That is my experience. Now, right now, as I've mentioned, because I had to slow her down in arena, she is at 180 speed. But because I had to slow her down to 135, she no longer has 100% crit rate. It's very close, but it's not there. So I am struggling a little bit to clear the waves, but they're still doing fine. And as I've mentioned, you can see here, she's getting a bonus turn, and Megisteria will go down just like that. But as I've mentioned, the biggest key here is Mary needs to go before the boss, and Nathalia needs to go after the boss. All right, going into the hero section and looking at their gear. So I guess what we can do is we can start with Santis. She is my fastest. Let's go in turn order. So if we look at Santis Stats, she's actually at 182. I didn't think she was that fast, but she still works just fine. As long as she's over 140, I think she will work just fine. And so here are her stats. She is maxed out all the way. She's ascended all the way. You don't need her all the way, but she does need enough focus to be able to land the poisons. And as I've mentioned, she is in a curse set, and that helps her to deal a lot more damage because it has the 35% chance to proc, plus the counterattack, so we do put a lot of poisons. And as you can see, her gear is not rolled up very, very much. Now, going in order of speed, where is my Mary? I believe Wolf goes next, and then I believe Mary goes. I think those are interchangeable. Don't quote me on that. Wolf is at 140, and he works fine. And he's actually just in random gear. I don't think he has any glyphs. He's got no glyphs. He's level 50, and his gear is just enough to hit speed. That's all I wanted to do. Apparently, I put him in a revival set. However, he dies. And all I wanted to do was just hit speed, and he works really well at 140. Now, keep in mind, there is a give and take. There is a little bit of playroom with a couple of speed up and down in every one of these heroes. Mary has to be, now Mary actually doesn't have all of her glyphs because she does have a plus 10 speed available, and that I did not get her on purpose because right now she's at 140 as well. So Mary and the Wolf are both the same exact speed, and I believe there is a little bit of give. I believe you can get her up to 142. She will work. 138 to 142 is the range. But if you are building this team, try to keep to what I have. So right now, as I've mentioned again, Mary is there just to hit speed of 140. One key thing to note here is I did have to push her over 13,000 HP because she would die on the swirl attack, on the whirlwind attack from the boss. She did die, and if she did die, I did not have enough damage to get through. So I did have to experiment a little bit with her health, get her over 13,000, and that gave her just enough survivability to survive till the end to get our victory. So that is Mary. Going over to Nathalia, if you are using Nathalia, mine is ascended all the way. I used 4 or 5 Awaken Chaos Era potions, and those I got from Endless Trial, but you don't need her to be ascended all the way. It does help. However, what you are going to need is you are going to need 135 to 137 speed. I believe the cap is 138. So try to keep her around 135. That will work really, really well. 136, 137 will work. Right now, as I've mentioned, she is normally at 180 speed for Arena and for some other dungeons. I've been forgetting to make this video, so I had to regear her and drop her speed down. And as I dropped her speed down, she no longer has a 100% crit rate. However, her crit damage is at 289, which is really high. When I was running this a lot, she did have 100% crit rate. So you will need most likely close to 250% crit damage because she does need to do enough damage to kill Ash Megisteria before your team wipes. So if she doesn't have enough damage, if she's under 200% crit damage, most likely you will not have enough crit damage on her to be able to clear him. So keep that in mind. And of course, she only has 11,000 health, but that gives her enough health to survive. And she does really, really well. Her being the only damage dealer in here, she does need enough damage to be able to kill not only the waves, but to be able to kill the boss fast enough. So there it is right there. She's at 137 speed. And as I've mentioned, when I ran this, when I speed tuned her originally, she was at 135 with 100% crit rate, and it worked out fantastic. But ever since then, I actually had her in different speed boots for Arena, and she got a lot faster. And ever since then, I took some of that gear that I used on her, put it on other heroes, and that is that. So that is the team. That is the comp. So as I've mentioned, when you're going into this, if we take a look at this one more time, as you're going into this, Santis is the fastest. at 182. You don't need her that fast. Mary and the Wolf are at 140, and that works very, very well. And Nathalia needs to be between 135 and 137 because she needs to go after the boss, but she also needs to do enough damage to not only wipe all the waves, but do enough damage to the boss. And if your Nathalia is not doing enough damage, try putting Santis in a curse set. That is exactly why I put mine in a curse set, to get a little bit of more extra damage, because when I originally ran this with Nathalia, I believe she only had about 253% crit damage, and that worked okay, but it was very, very close. I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hit the like and the subscribe to help me grow the channel. I thank you so much. I hope this video helped. Leave me a nice comment down below. Let me know if this helped. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will do my best to try and help you out. That's going to do it for now. I'll see you in the next video.